quality training, just let me know. And if you've already done something, just let me know in that case as well. So I'll come to know. Yes. So, 60-70% have not gone through any formal quality training. Okay, so I'll give you some basics of quality. See, CPHQ, those who are preparing for CPHQ, they need to even understand a little bit of statistics as well. We'll try to still tell you about statistics, but I will try to be as basic as possible today. And thanks for participating in the poll. So thanks for joining and participating in the poll. And okay. And second question, if you can just answer this question. Are you able to hear me now better? Second question, if you can just let me know. What is your role in your organization? Okay. So we have a lot of physicians and nurses and administrators who have joined for the okay. Thank you. And if you can just one more question. Were you aware of CPHQ before you heard from us? And those who have joined recently, don't worry. We have just started. We're just starting, right? So don't worry. We have not started any topic as such. I'm just asking some questions. If my team can reply to my message. Okay, thanks a lot. And okay, fine. Thanks a lot. And so, as you are answering this question, I made the agenda for our training program, and let me share it with you. Okay, so once again, welcome to the training program. Once again, welcome to the training program. And the agenda for our training is that first I'll talk about some of the benefits of what is CPHQ. I think almost everyone has heard of CPHQ here. Very few people have not heard. So for them, I will very briefly talk about what is CPHQ and what are the benefits, but I'll not spend too much time on it. Then I will introduce you to the modules of CPHQ, what happens, what exactly it means to be a CPHQ, how to prepare for that exam, and what are the topics you need to study. I'll talk about that. And after that, I'll be talking about healthcare data analytics. And today I have included leadership also, because some of you have never heard of any quality related, you have not attended any quality related topic. So I will maybe very briefly, I will talk about leadership also today. And if time permits, I'll talk about change management also. My team should be ready with a change management video towards the end. And if time permits, I will also give you some good tools like failure modes and effects analysis, if time permits. It totally depends on the time. And depending on what you are asking, I will try to answer your questions as well as we go along. You can't see what others are writing because there are more than 130 people attending this session. So you can I can see your messages, but you can't see others' messages. So just don't feel that you are the only person writing to us. There are other people also writing, and we can see the messages, everyone's messages here. Thanks a lot, and welcome once again. Welcome, Jasim. Okay, and okay. Some projects example I will show, some hospital projects example. If I think I'll try to show at least one project, and if time permits, maybe two projects. And of course, I keep some time after 2 hours also. I keep some time for discussions. So if you are still there around after 2 hours, I'll be happy to answer. Like I will one-on-one. If you want, you can speak also. But for the first 2 hours, you will not be able to speak because you are not in the panel, and you can just write messages to us. And my team keeps seeing the messages. I have got a good support of 4 to 5 people who are supporting me while you ask the questions. If there are administration related, definitely I'll be. We'll be happy to answer these questions. Okay. So once again, I see 30, 40 more people have joined in the last 2 to 3 minutes. So once again, welcome. And I just told about the agenda, so you have not missed out on anything. And let me now welcome you formally. We should give you a classroom feeling, isn't it? Those days, the pre-pandemic days, if you go back to the classroom, you should be able to see you should be able to have that classroom feeling. So a formal welcome from our side. And when you join our training programs, see, our training programs consist of theory, interactive sessions, plus videos, which we play during the sessions. And these videos are given to you after the session. So right now, today also, I'll be using some certain videos, maybe 30% of the time it will be videos, and around 50% of the time it will be interaction, and 10 to 20% of the time I'll be sharing some case studies. And when you join our formal training program, a CPHQ training program, which is a 4 days training program, we give all these videos and whole training material, plus a lot of other questions, mock exams, mock questions also, so that you can pass the CPHQ examination at one go. So once again, welcome, a formal welcome. And I'm Amitabh Saxena.
Hi, welcome to Anexas. Anexas has been consulting and training the professionals in the organizations around the world since 2006, and we have trained more than 150,000 people and consulted for more than 500 organizations, which includes Fortune 100 organizations too. I'm Amitabh Saxena, and I have designed this program based on my 30 years of experience while working in various industries across many domains. The whole Anexas team once again joins me in welcoming you.
Once again, a warm welcome to all of you for our training program on Introduction to CPHQ. Just to give an introduction about the company, we have been doing quality-related training since 2006. We are based in Copenhagen, and we have got wide presence in Middle East and in Europe. We are also serving National Healthcare Service. We have done a lot of improvement projects in National Healthcare Service, Ministry of Health in Saudi Arabia. If time permits, I'll show you one of the credentials from the Deputy Health Minister of Saudi Arabia, Dr. Tarif Alama. He's also attended our trainings. He's also even a black belt, Lean Six Sigma black belt. Mashallah, he's even attended the full training program along with his whole team. And Ministry of Health in Vietnam, and as I said, in Dubai also, a lot of hospitals in Abu Dhabi, a lot of hospitals in Qatar and Bahrain and Oman, Sultan Qaboos University Hospital in Saudi Arabia, all the renowned hospital, King Saud University Hospital, Medical City, King Fahd Medical City, International Medical Center, so many of them. And for the last 15, 16 years, we have been doing these training programs. And personally, I have done many programs. For the last 20, 21 years, I have been conducting quality-related training programs. My wife is a doctor, so she told me to, around 16 years ago, she told me that I should be doing training programs in healthcare. And I started that. And I'm always proud to tell that first ever Lean and Six Sigma Black Belt program anywhere held in Middle East. It was held, or it was conducted by me. That was for a hospital, incidentally. That was for a hospital in King Khalid, a specialist hospital, KKesh, where people or quality directors of different hospitals also had attended. So this is that photograph. By the way, you may recognize some of the familiar faces to you here. And this is, again, the largest pharmaceutical company of the world, Novartis. This is the team from Novartis who are attending. And Novartis, you must be prescribing a lot of medicines from Novartis. So a lot of pharmaceutical companies, even, they have attended our training programs. As I said, our wide presence in Europe and Middle East, and not only in North America and South America, but also in China. So this is a Chinese hospital which has undergone CPHQ, Green Belt, Black Belt training programs. The CPHQ is quality related, and usually, those who attend the CPHQ, they also take a package of Green Belt and Black Belt sometimes, so they become proficient in quality. This is FMEA being taught in US into one of the hospitals, and we have won a lot of awards and different conferences. I have been a regular speaker in hospital management conferences, World Hospital Management Conferences, NAHQ conferences, and a lot of people have, like the National Healthcare Service, we have done many projects. So when they do an improvement projects, what happens? The people who undergo our training, be it CPHQ or a Six Sigma training, when they undergo a training, they are encouraged to do an improvement project in the hospital and also showcase this improvement project to their senior management. This is Alex. He has just done training, so I'll just
well, we have Alex with us, and he has done excellent Lean and Six Sigma projects in National Healthcare Service and in hospitals. So, Alex, would you like to tell us something about it?
Hello, I'm Alex Wells, Head of Service Improvements at the Royal Liverpool University Hospital. I've been really fortunate to present today on how us as a trust are using Lean and Six Sigma principles to deliver better care for our patients. I've presented today on a lot of the work that we've done around how we've improved patient outcomes, reducing mortality, improving length of stay, and also talked about how we can actually realise some financial benefits from that. Over the past 2 years, we've been really fortunate that we've done some good work, and it's actually delivered us £2 million worth of quality efficiencies through delivering better patient care.
Yes. That was Alex talking about his projects. And just to tell you that these quality tools and techniques which you are going to learn today, they're applicable to all hospitals, around the world. And not only also all hospitals, sometimes we say all industries.
Mr. Andrew Robertson with us, who's the CEO of King Edward VII Hospital in London.
So Dr. Robertson from King Edward Hospital in London. So anyway, I will, now I think a lot of people have joined in already. So I'll just jump to the, I've even appeared on TV shows, a Z Business TV show. We had a good show on quality-related tools and techniques, and it ran for 13 episodes. Those who are from India can recognize this Bollywood hero. He used to be a hero, now he has become a TV show host. Okay, and I've been a speaker in quality,
On 21st of May 2019, I'm going to speak in American Society of Quality.
I'll cut short those videos introduction now. I think everyone is ready. I have also written a book on quality. In fact, 2 books on quality. And this I was talking about Dr. Tarif Alama giving nice credentials to us. But as I said, like now almost a lot of people have joined in. I can start the formal training program.
Deputy Minister in Health.
Okay. So, yeah, okay. So what is CPHQ? CPHQ is Certified Professional for Healthcare Quality. It is an exam conducted by NAHQ, National Association for Healthcare Quality. Earlier, it was only for Americans, long time ago. And then it was opened up to people worldwide. So they conduct two exams. One is for Americans and one is for international. They call it international. So we all fall under, if you are not joining from US, then you are coming under the international category. And if you pass that examination, it really is a good credentials to have. You have got a worldwide recognition, NHQ, and our passing percentage has been 99+%. So that is great credentials we carry as an organization, because we have got a good experience in this field and we prepare you well for this examination. There are 4 modules: organization and leadership, healthcare data analytics, performance and process improvement, and patient safety. Normally, healthcare data analytics and performance process improvement is the area where people find it difficult to answer the questions. And I'll be focusing around 1 hour on those modules. But having said that, half an hour, I'll still talk about organizational leadership, as well as, if time permits, about patient safety. Patient safety, maybe I will discuss one tool called FMEA, Failure Modes and Effects Analysis. Yeah, so I will not, because I saw in the initial stages in the poll, 90% of you are aware of CPHQ, what you have heard of CPHQ. So I'll not go into the details of that, because I leave it to you to know more about it from the website. Our website also contains all the data, and NAHQ as well. So we have 140 questions, and you have to answer those 140 questions. And out of that, 125 are scoring questions, and 15 are just pre-test questions. And by the way, you have to at least answer 66% plus. We never know how much, what is the passing percentage, because they never reveal it, but around 66+% is what is our estimate. If you pass, you will get you will pass the examination. Now, one important thing I would like to tell you here, that we prepare you to at least score 85% plus marks. So if you attend our sessions, generally people score 85 plus or more than that. So your probability of passing the exam is very high. Okay, as I said, most of you are aware of CPHQ, so I'll not go into the details of CPHQ, but just to tell you that healthcare data analytics and quality improvement, quality measurement and improvement, they constitute around 66% of the questions. And around 28% is from leadership, and around 16% is related to patient safety. So I will also devote a similar percentage of time today in today's training for all these modules. Primary focus will be on data analytics and quality improvement. But yeah, I will start with leadership, and then after that, I'll move on to healthcare data analytics and quality measurement and improvement. So what is organizational leadership? These are the topics which you need to cover. Now, I'm not going to talk about all the topics in this is foundation program. So I'm just going to tell you. So systems thinking, think of the hospital as a system. Edward Deming used to say that 85% of the problems in the organization, in this case our hospitals, are due to the processes, not due to the people. So focus on the processes instead of focusing and finding errors in the people. Find defects and errors in the process, because a good person given a broken process, he will not be able to perform. And if an average person is given a nice process, he or she would be performing brilliantly and excellently well. So have a systems thinking. Think your hospital as a system. So we will learn a tool which is part of systems thinking, which is known as CPHQ. Think yourself as a system. Don't work in silos. Don't work in your departments. Don't think of my department, his department, the previous department. We together are as a system. So in order to think yourself as a system, you have to not only think about your process, but also think about your the department which is giving you the inputs, and whatever service you're providing the service to a customer. Now, customer can be internal or external. So if you're widening your thinking, we call it a systems thinking. That is what is system thinking all about. So we talk about that. We also we talk about fundamental principles of leadership and why leadership is important. Then we also learn strategic planning. The leadership has got a primary role of creating strategies, especially to implement and build quality culture in the hospitals. So what is the role of leadership? How the strategy is created? What is the strategic roadmap? How to create your strategies in the hospital? That's what is learned in this particular module. Then we also learn how to align culture to support the quality. What is culture? Culture is collective behavior of the group. Culture is collective behavior of the group. So in this case, when you are trying to initiate the quality culture in the organization, what are the things you should be doing? That's what is discussed in this module. Then how will you align the structure to support the quality, and how will you align the staff to support the quality, and how will you align the reward systems to support the quality? Then some of the motivational theories are to be learned in this module. Today, I'm not going to talk about them. They are all very, very interesting. I've created a lot of videos. I'll put some video links. You can later on watch these videos. My team can definitely put some video links related to change management, and I'll be showing some videos. Links of those videos also will be given to you along with in the chat box. So you can watch out for those links. And this training program also will be available on YouTube immediately after we finish. This will be available for you to watch again later, only if you attend the full training program. So you have to attend the full training program. And those who have attended the full training program, like towards the end, especially you have watched towards the end, you have attended the full 2-hour training, then a link will be also sent to you where you can watch this training program anytime in the future. Then, so these are, then we talk about change management. So link of change management, my team can just remember, please put the change management video towards the end. If I'm not showing it here, that at least still, please put this video of change management so that people can watch it later on. So these are all the topics which we learn in the leadership. So system thinking is think about your hospital as a system rather than departments. Think about processes, and every process has got an output. Every process has got an input. Every process has got an output, and every process has got an input. Donabedian, a quality guru. Okay, let me. What I will do, I will show you a tool called CPHQ a little later, which uses the systems thinking of Deming. Because in quality, we also learn about the philosophy, we learn about the theory, and then we also learn about the tools. So when you learn CPHQ, you also learn tools and techniques, how to apply these philosophies of great quality thinkers in real life. So a tool called SIPOC, SIPOC, Supplier Input, Process Output, and Customer, I'll be showing you maybe after half an hour. So think about the system. Don't think about the departments only. Understand the big picture, facilitate. See, when you have systems thinking, you will be talking about the major components rather than only the minor components. So as a receptionist, I may think my job is to follow 7 steps or 8 steps. But if I have a system thinking, then I will also know that how my job affects the downstream process and how I'm affected by the upstream process. So I'm aware of myself working in a system rather than just thinking about my own department. So that is what a systems thinking all about. It fosters the integration. It provides a basis for the redesign. Now, I won't go into the details of each and every point in the short program because this is a foundation program. But just to tell you, leadership and management are two different things. Leadership gives direction. Management ensures that whatever leader thinks, it is executed. So leadership, the role of the leader is to give a direction, and the role of a management is to execute whatever leadership is envisioned. When you are a leader, you will always have a vision. Yeah. So we start with a vision, which is based on the mission. Okay. So what is a mission? What is a vision? Mission is purpose of your existence. Generally, the mission doesn't change. Mission is the purpose of your existence. Why you exist as a hospital. Okay. Vision is how you see yourself after, let's say, 5 years or after 10 years. How you visualize. Vision means seeing. How you visualize yourself after 5 years, after 10 years. Let me take an example, a simple example of Walt Disney. The mission of Walt Disney is to make people happy. That's the mission. That is why they exist. Now, 100 years ago also, their mission was to make people happy. But today also, their mission is to make people happy. So usually the mission doesn't change. Or let me take an example of a hospital also simultaneously, that if I'm looking at any hospital, mission could be to serve the patients, or some hospitals might be serving the poor. So to serve the poor or to alleviate suffering in humanity, this can be a mission. Then this remains constant. But what could be a vision? So if I go back to Walt Disney, the vision keeps changing. So somewhere in 1950 or so, their vision could have been, I'm not really sure about what was the vision that time, but I'm just thinking that vision could have been that we would like to be number one, let's say, cartoon publishing book in the world, because they're famous for their cartoons. In somewhere in 1970s, their vision could have been to become the number one, let's say, theme park company in the world. Maybe in 1990s to become the number one cartoon film making company in the world. And maybe today it could be that to become the number one film making company in the world. So you can see the vision keeps changing. So vision is generally associated with the future. Sometimes they write the date like Vision 2030. By 2030, we would have achieved this to become number one hospital in our area of specialization. So that is a vision. But the mission usually remains the same. So mission and vision is owned by the leadership. And generally, you should write short mission and vision statements. Don't write lengthy ones, because if you write lengthy ones, you cannot share the vision and mission with all the employees. All employees should also share your vision and mission. Then only hospital will be able to fulfill its vision of becoming number one hospital in your area of specialization, or whatever is your goal or the vision is. From the vision and mission, you create goals, short-term and long-term goals. Like in 1 year, to become number one hospital in 5 years, I need to break it down. I need to break down, like this year, I need to achieve this. Second year, I need to achieve this. So these are the goals. And then you have to define the strategies, how you are going to do. Strategy means how you are going to achieve that goal. There can be many ways. One of the strategy could be, I will train at least 100 people in CPHQ. I will train at least 200 people in Lean and Six Sigma as a green belt and black belt. Like one of the hospitals, we just finished KSUMC. We trained more than 300 employees as green belts and black belts. That was the hospital division. Like as a long-term quality goals, they have set these goals, aggressive goals. There are a lot of hospitals like that we have been associated with. So to achieve that vision, whatever you have for yourself, what are the things you are going to do? What is your strategy? What is the way of achieving? Strategy means how you are going to achieve. Like, in football game, the captains come out with strategy. Today we will be playing defensive. Today we will be playing offensive. Today we will be, defending in the first half, and second half we will be attacking, whatever. These are the strategies. Strategies means how I am going to, in football match, how I am going to score a goal. That you create a strategy. So similarly, as a leadership, you have to create a strategy to achieve the vision of the hospital. So that is what the role of the leadership. Now management is about executing this vision of the leaders. So both are important. Leadership is also important. Management is also important. Management is about managing the people and resources so that you can achieve the vision, what the leaders have said. Now, by the way, leaders are not the CEO and the senior management only. You yourself are the leader. Everyone, each and every employee in the hospital is a leader. So leadership is not related to position. Management might be, and usually is related to position. And you should be both a leader as well as a manager. There are different styles of leadership. Now, I won't go into the details of each and everything, and I will not be able to give a lot of examples in the short possible time, because I want you to get just an exposure to almost 50 to 60% of the topics on CPHQ. So I'll quickly talk about bureaucratic means just following the rules and regulations. Usually, if your organization is large, you will use bureaucratic style. Like in government, you have to use bureaucratic leadership. You can't manage 1,000 and 10,000, maybe sometimes 20,000 people, just being, let's say, democratic. But sometimes there are different styles, and it doesn't mean, see, none of the style is like best, or none of the style is like worst. You may have to use different styles in different situations. We call it a situational leadership. So bureaucratic means I'm following the rules. These are my powers, and this is what I can delegate. Let us follow whatever the rule states. That is bureaucratic. Autocratic means just listen to me. I'm not going to listen to anyone. Listen to me only. That's autocratic. Diplomatic means, in a way, I'm trying to sell that listen to me, but I'll make it as if now I have taken everyone's opinion, but finally, whatever I decide, it's going to happen. That is diplomatic. Like diplomacy, in countries, they have diplomats. Diplomats just have to execute what the leadership thinks, right? But they are the ones who actually own some of the, job responsibilities in their respective countries, but they generally execute what the leadership thinks. So diplomatic means leaders present the decision and invite the inputs and questions, but original decision is rarely changed. Participatory means everyone participates in drafting a decision. Democratic means I leave it to the team. You decide. Whatever the majority feels, we'll go with that. Laissez-faire means, well, I'll leave it. Whatever happens, let it happen. Things somehow everyone will find its vision. Somehow things will happen, and whatever happens is good. That is laissez-faire. Charismatic, because I have got one good quality, people like that quality, and people follow me. Like, for example, let's say there's a very famous cardiac surgeon who's working in a hospital. And then this cardiac surgeon, because he's a very, very famous and expert cardiac surgeon, everyone follows him and his leadership. Like, this is known as charismatic leadership. You're using personal charm to influence the people. Then empowering. Empowering means I'm empowering everyone, all the team members, to take their own decisions. That is empowering. Transactional means give and take. You do this, I will give you this. If you are able to achieve this, you will get this. This another form of leadership. Transactional leadership. Transformational leadership is considered as one of the best, where you inspire. As a leader, you inspire people. Just state the vision and inspire people to achieve the visions. That is known as transformational leadership. So these are different leadership styles in short. I've got videos for each of those leadership styles, but let me show you another video. That videos are separately shown in our training programs, but let me show you overall the 5 levels of leadership. So let us, instead of playing it from here, I think there is some issue in my, by the way, till now, do we have any questions? Till now, do we have any questions? And I'll try to answer while I play this video. I'll try to answer these questions. I'll take a note of these questions as I play this video. Now, this video, which I'm going to show you, is Maxwell. Maxwell is a very, very famous leadership guru. Have you heard of John Maxwell, by the way? Anyone has heard of John Maxwell? Just let me know. So the video which I'm going to show you is, I have summarized. Some people, oh, Dr. Bassam Bassam Salama has already heard about him. Okay, that's great. Okay, so I'll just play. So I have summarized this book, and this video which I'm going to play is about. Is a summary of his book on leadership, where he describes the 5 levels of leadership.
If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are on the path to becoming a great leader. In this generation where technology has become so advanced that it is available to everyone, the only competitive edge a company can get is by improving its leadership. How important a good leader is can be explained using the examples of many companies that rose to skyrocketing heights because they had great leaders. According to Forbes, companies like General Electric, Procter & Gamble, Intel, Siemens, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, ABB, Microsoft, Walmart, etc. are good examples of companies for great leadership. Now the question arises, how does leadership influence organizational culture? I'm sure all of you have asked this question to yourself at least once. Just how a parent shapes the characteristics of a child, or just how a teacher builds the foundation for her students. A good leader sets the benchmark for the company and its people. With good leadership, a company can grow and achieve its goals, at the same time create a healthy environment for its employees, thereby improving employee efficiency. A team can grow only up to the level of its leader. It cannot go beyond it. So the level of the leader decides the performance of the team. We now know that leadership is important. So how do we inculcate good leadership practices? Let me tell you about John Maxwell's 5 levels of leadership. The first level is position. This is the lowest level of leadership. As one can say, it's the entry level of the leadership. The position is the only level that requires no effort to achieve. One can simply be appointed at a leadership position. Now, there is nothing wrong with having the leadership position. However, relying only on this position to get people to follow you will not take you far. Position does not directly result in influence. You should use this level as a place to invest in your growth as a leader. This time can be used to learn to lead yourself through priorities and self-discipline. Level 2 is permission, which is based on relationships. Here the people choose to follow you because they want to and not simply because they have to. In simple terms, at this level, people give you the permission to lead them. If you want to grow at this level, you will need to learn to know the people you are leading and connect with them. If you treat your people as individuals who have their own values and beliefs, you begin to develop a positive relationship with them. Trust grows, mutual respect increases, and the work environment becomes positive and happy to work in. This is the level where solid, lasting relationships are built that create the foundation for the next level. Level 3 is production. In life, there will be times when people hit rock bottom and they feel there is no way out. This is when true leadership comes to rescue. Great leaders know how to motivate people. Getting things done is what level 3 is all about. To build influence and credibility, results must be visible. If you want people to follow you, not only because of your relationship with them, but also because of your credibility, then you must give them something to prove your worth. This is the level where leaders can become change agents. The more output you give, the more you'll be able to tackle tough problems. Work becomes fun as everyone is moving together and the team rises to another level of effectiveness. Level 4 is people development. To sum up level 4 in one word, it can be called the reproduction level. A great leader is not someone who rises on the top alone. A great leader is someone who produces more great leaders. Your goal at this level is to identify and develop as many leaders as you can by investing time and effort and helping them grow. When there are more great leaders, the organization will accomplish more. By doing this, you are giving your people another reason to follow you. When they see what you have done for your team members personally, respect, trust, and admiration increases. And level 5 is pinnacle. This is the highest level of leadership, which also makes it most difficult to attain. You simply cannot reach level 5 unless you are willing to invest your life into the lives of others. But if you stick with it, you may find yourself at the pinnacle. Level 5 leaders develop level 5 organizations. They aim to create opportunities that other leaders don't. They create a legacy in what they do. People follow them because of who they are and what they represent. As a result, level 5 leaders often transcend their position and even their organization. One thing you must note here is the goal of John Maxwell's 5 levels of leadership is not to advance from one level to another, but it is to build upon each level. I would like to end with a very famous quote by John Maxwell. Leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. Stay happy and keep learning.
Happy learning. Thanks for taking out time to watch this video. To learn more, check out our other videos. Link is given in the description below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and have a great day. For more information you can write to us on inquiry@anexas.net.
Okay, so once again, welcome back. So now we were talking about leadership. Now we move on to the data analytics part, the more interesting part. No, of course, leadership is also interesting. I would say data. Now, data, because data and process improvement comprises of like 66%. So we'll spend more time here. Okay, and if you are ready to take up a little bit of learn a little bit of statistics also, I'll be happy to take you through into the world of statistics and how it is relevant to healthcare. So can you please tell me, do you agree with this? There are some things or some data which can be measured and some cannot be measured. Do you agree? And I see some questions also. Are there any, are the international and American CPHQ exams different? Yes, they are. They are different. Content is a little different, but we are preparing for both. So 90% of the content is same, only 5-10% of the, let's say, some of the certification and accreditations related to US only. They're not asked in the international examination. Yes, so many of people are telling that they agree. Oh, sorry to tell you, you have to disagree. Okay, so let's just remember there are 2 rules. You cannot improve if you cannot measure. And the second part is you can measure everything. The third rule is if you think something cannot be measured, go back to rule number 2. That means you can measure everything. Now, let me tell you how you can measure everything. Now, in hospitals, when we talk about data, there are 3 responses usually. Oh, we do not collect the data. Or in a hidden way, they're telling, oh, why should I give you the data? Because you are going to put these data into some graphs and charts. And after that, you are going to reveal my inefficiencies to the whole world. So sorry, I'm not going to give you the data. Or second, we have too much of data. It's lying everywhere, but we don't know what to do with that. Or third is, oh, I'm not a mathematics person. I'm not a statistical person. I hate statistics. I hate maths. And sometimes it's reverse. We suffer from analysis paralysis. I keep on analyzing unnecessarily. I don't know why I'm analyzing. All these problems and excuses are gone. Because now, today, the world has advanced. You can learn things faster. And of course, there are a lot of softwares you can use. One of the software I'll demonstrate, although it is not part of the CPHQ, but when you attend our CPHQ training, we also give you this software so that you can analyze your data, you can know the essence, you can understand the essence of the data and data analytics. So if you know the things better, if you can do it yourself, you learn better. Today, you will not be able to participate with me. I'll just show you those things. But when you attend our sessions, you do the things with us. So there are two types of data, continuous data and attribute data. There are two types of data, continuous data and attribute data. Let me describe in detail what is continuous data and what is attribute data. Continuous data, so here we are learning about data types. Two types of data, continuous and attribute. I'm hurriedly writing, so excuse me for my bad handwriting. Okay. If I am relaxed, there's no time constraint. Now I have a time constraint. I want to teach you more and more tools in shortest possible time. If I have no constraint, I will generally write better. So, example, continuous data, age, 53.2 years. That is my age. Yeah. Okay. Patient discharge time. Can you give me some more examples of continuous data? Generally quantitative in nature, 4.5 hours. Or if it's 5 hours, so maybe 300 minutes. Yeah. Blood pressure, weight, yes. Oh yeah, so as a lot of people are telling. Yes, Shahzab, Awan, yes, hello. Yeah, Shamas is telling length of stay, right? Dr. Saurav is telling, turnaround time. Yeah, so you know, distance, etc. Yeah, everyone understands what is continuous data. One of the important characteristics of continuous data is that it has a unit. It has a unit, and it will also have a decimal place. It has a unit, it also has a decimal place. Possibility of a decimal place. Doesn't mean it has to have a decimal place, but there's a possibility, like blood pressure. Yeah, these are all examples of continuous data. Attribute data are those data which we feel we cannot measure. So if I ask people, tell me anything what you can't measure. So usually people will tell me, can you tell me? You can also give some examples. Can you tell me what are the things you cannot measure? Then I'll tell you a trick. Today, at least one thing you will learn. Not only one thing, we will learn many things. But today, one of the most important key things will be you can measure everything. That is what I'm going to give you a trick. Okay. In the CPHQ session, I even give you a trick to get an KPI, proper KPI. But right now, today, I'll just focus on giving you a trick on how to measure everything. So that's the trick. So Dr. Thakur Nepal is saying anger. So we'll measure anger. Obedience. Okay. Dr. Basam is telling obedience. Personality. Very good. So I have got 3. Personality. Okay. Now I'll tell you a trick. And I can't give all the 3 examples, but I'll just mention it. While writing, I'll just take 1 or 2. I can count the occurrences of that particular category. And then I can get the proportions. And even I can get a percentage. And even I can get a rate. I'm not going into too much of detail, but you need to know all these measures as a CPHQ. You need to know. I see some of my green belt, black belt participants also, who have attended my Lean Six Sigma training. By the way, I also conduct a free yellow belt training program. If you are interested, you can join that also. On 16th is happening, almost around the same time. next week on Thursday. So if you're interested, my team will put a link here. You can even join that. You will also learn certain things, similar things. Maybe that will be a little bit of advanced statistics. But here, we are also talking about basic and advanced statistics, mix of it. But if you are interested, please join that. Okay, so now attribute. Let's take, which one we want to say? Any attribute. Some people are saying happiness, okay. Let us take happiness. It can be anger also, happiness, feelings also, anything. I'm just taking happiness. Create minimum 2 categories. See, minimum 2 categories always can be created. How? Presence or absence of that particular attribute. So what I can write? Happy, unhappy. So this was anger, attribute is anger. Angry, not angry, right? As simple as that. Or it can be 5, a scale of 5. Very, very angry, angry, neutral, not angry, extremely not angry, means very, very fine. So you can have 1 to 5 scale. What is your anger rating? Okay, you can still have. That is attribute data. Now, let's say I'm asking the patients, how happy you are with my services. I asked 100 patients. 60 say happy, 40 say unhappy. Proportion of patients telling I'm happy with your services is 0.6. This is 0.4. And this is 100. Sorry, 1. This will be 1. Proportion. You have learned now proportion. Percentage. You have learned percentage. Another, one more way of ratio. 6:4. We get 6:4. Happy and unhappy. Yeah, 6:4. Or a rate of happy people. 60 on 100. And if let's say happy people are very few, let's say 0.2%, then I'll say 2 in 1,000. So I will express this as a rate. 2 in 1,000, like infection rate. You have infection rate, right? So 1 in 1,000, 1 in 10,000, like, so this is rate, ratio, percentage, proportion. These are all measures of attribute data. Okay. Now, whatever you gave me anger, you gave me personality, pleasing, not pleasing, personality. Okay. Or personality can be of 3, 4 types, different personality, dashing personality, this personality. You can think feelings. Now Facebook measures the feelings, isn't it? Sad, happy, like, dislike, or not, dislike is not there, sorry. But you can measure everything, first of all. Now you will say, no, it is not accurate measure. Don't wait for the accurate measure, because hospitals who wait for accurate measures never progress. The hospitals who go with the measures, like for example, happiness. Say some hospitals say, sorry, happiness cannot be measured, I'm not measuring. But the hospital which says, well, I can measure happiness. And they say, today, 60% of the patients are happy. And I would like to move 60% from today. By May 2022, the 60 will increase to 80%. And to make it 80%, what I need to do, I can plan something. This hospital will definitely stand out against a hospital which is still waiting for the measure of the happiness. You can't improve if you cannot measure. Please remember that. So first thing you have to do is put up a measure. Okay. Please remember, I hope you agree. I'm not going to give many examples, but just try to fit your example. Whatever attribute you gave here, just fit there, create categories, create counts, and you will be ready for improvement. Like here I have done patient discharge time. Okay. Now the tools which you will be using to present the data to the world will differ and depend on what type of data you are collecting. If I'm collecting continuous data, I will use tools like histograms, patient discharge time, most of the time, it takes 300 minutes or 5 hours. If I want to make it hours, maybe 5 hours. Sometimes it takes 4 hours, sometimes 3 hours, 6 hours, sometimes 7, and never beyond 8 hours. Sometimes it takes, 4 also, 3 also, and very few, 2. Or age of my patients. On an average, they are 40 years. Sometimes they go up to 20, and sometimes go up to 60. The continuous data usually can be represented in histogram, where the y-axis is the frequency. Frequency means how many times this particular value is occurring. That is known as histogram. Histo means history, gram means graph, historical graph. Historical means historically, like what last 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, I collected some data and I compiled all my data. This is how I'm presenting my data to you, ladies and gentlemen. Historically, I have performed like this. Historically, my discharge time has been between 2 to 8 hours. Histogram. This is history. Now, Mr. Gauss in 19th century was kind enough to study these histograms of many processes, and he came out with a nice theorem. It's known as Gaussian theorem. Mr. Gauss in 19th century, without any laptops and without any computers, and without any calculators, he studied recurring processes. Process means which is recurring. Whatever activities which are repeating again and again. All repetitive activities, he said, follows normal distribution. This is normal probability distribution, also known as bell-shaped curve. Okay, so all the data can be represented using histogram, and usually it will fit into normal distribution curve. Why it is known as normal distribution curve? Why it is known as normal distribution curve? Because it is normal to obtain a normal distribution curve. Okay, so are you still with me? Up to here you are. Can I increase the complexity of our discussion? Up to you. I can only stick to basics as well. Sometimes, so there are some people who have got good exposure to quality. They may like to know something more as well. So maybe I'll increase the complexity if you permit. So yes, Asiya Parveen is telling. Okay. I think you have already attended my session before, Black Belt session. Oh, you already know all these things, right? Okay, fine. Okay, so most of people are saying yes. So now, Mr. Gauss, he said that on an average, all the processes, they have an average value. They always have an average value, and they have a variation. Like discharge time of the patients will have variation. Age of patients will have variation. Blood pressure of a person, one person, even your blood pressure has a variation. It has an average, it has a variation, which is represented by standard deviation. Now, in this program, I will not be telling you how to calculate standard deviation. There's a simple formula for that, but it requires 15 to 20 minutes of explanation. So I won't go into that explanation, but I'll just tell you that whenever you collect the data, around 20, 30 samples, so I will collect the patient discharge time in minutes, 250 minutes, 280 minutes, 320 minutes, 300 minutes, so on and so forth. I go on collecting 20 to 30 samples. I will get an average of, let's say, 300 and standard deviation of, let's say, okay, let me show you some data. Nowadays, we have got tools. So I've collected some patients' data, 300 minutes, 245 minutes, 360 minutes. Because this is a foundation training, I will not be telling you step by step how to make a histogram, etc. I'm just telling you, giving you overview. So if I have the data, I can easily get a histogram. It can be done in Excel sheet also. It can be done in Minitab also. I'm just using quickly So I have got, sorry, just a minute. Made it for something else. Okay. So baseline discharge time in the hospital is today, average is 300 minutes and standard deviation is 25 minutes. Easily you can get this, okay? Very easily you can get average and standard deviation of any process, any repeated process, like any repeated process, like time taken to perform a surgery or procedure. Triage time. There's so many, blood test report time. Anything which is repetitive in nature, usually it will follow normal distribution. You can get your average and standard deviation. Mr. Gauss, he found one interesting phenomena long time ago. He said, when you collect the data and get an average and standard deviation, one interesting thing you will notice is always 99% of the population, 99% of the population, I'm talking about the population, I'm not talking about the sample. No, not the sample, of the population from where you have drawn this sample, it will lie within -3 times the standard deviation and +3 times the standard deviation. As simple as that. So if I apply this to my example here, 300 minutes is the average discharge time, patient discharge time. One's time standard deviation is how much? Standard deviation is 25, so one time standard deviation is 1 into 25. So this will be 325. I hope you are with me. And this is 350. I hope you are with me. 2 times standard deviation. And this is how much? 375. Okay. This is 275. This is 250. And this is 225. So in my hospital, patients are being discharged within 225 minutes to 375 minutes, means 99% of the patients. 99% of the patients are being discharged within these 2 minutes. Okay. I hope you are still with me. I hope you're not leaving the session. Okay, don't worry. They will not ask you questions on these so tough questions, by the way. I'm trying to explain something which will help you to understand another tool which is there in your syllabus, which is known as control charts. So I hope I have not lost you. You are with me till now. Just let me know if you want me to explain this more. I will explain. Okay. You are with me still. Oh, Naya Azam is telling yes. You are still with me. Okay, great. Okay, fine. So this is how I can predict about all the patients in the hospital. This is how, when vaccination is, the trials are conducted on, say, some few volunteers, like say 1,000 volunteers, we make a judgment about billions of people, isn't it? Using statistics on it. Okay, so this -3 times standard deviation is known as lower control limit, and this is known as upper control limit. Lower control limit and upper control limit. So all the hospital processes have got their own lower control limit and upper control limit. their own LCL and UCL. Every hospital process, repetitive process, has got lower control limit and upper, like waiting time of the patients. It has got a lower control limit and upper control limit. If I collect 30 patients, waiting time, 30 minutes, 32 minutes, 33 minutes, 29 minutes, 22 minutes, and average waiting time is 30 minutes. And let us say standard deviation is 5 minutes. Just 30 patients, by just collecting data of 30 patients, I can predict about all your patients using normal distribution curve. I will say 30. This is 5 minutes. Standard deviation is 5 minutes. So 35, 40, and 45. I can say, well, 99% of our patients are waiting between 15 minutes to 45 minutes. And the control limits of my waiting time are 15 and 45. Okay. Okay, great. You are with me still. I have not seen anyone leaving. Oh, that's great. Okay, still people are around. Okay. Sometimes I'm worried, if we enter into the deep statistics, people start leaving. Oh, this session is not for me. Okay. Okay, very good. Good to see. I have got all intelligent people today attending this session. Okay, great. Now I can create my control chart, lower control limit. If I go with the waiting time, let us say, lower control limit and upper control limit of waiting time of my patient is 15 to 45 minutes. So if a patient comes to my hospital, he will, if I plot patient waiting time, first patient waiting for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, this is how the behavior of the patient would be. And the histogram of the patient will look something like this. Most of them are at 30, average 30. And sometimes I go up to 45, never beyond 45, never less than 50. Doesn't mean some patients are not waiting for more than 40 minutes. Some patients are really waiting, but there are special causes. Like, suppose one patient waited for 90 minutes. It's like an outlier, If I were to draw, like say, there's a tool called cause and effect diagram, also known as fishbone diagram. Here I mentioned the effect, and here I mentioned the cause. Yeah, here I mentioned the causes. We call it as Ishikawa diagram or fishbone diagram, or also cause and effect diagram. There are three names of this diagram. So what is the effect here? Waiting time. Now, waiting time can be due to many things, many causes. I can brainstorm on the causes. I can brainstorm. I can get hold of my team members and brainstorm. Think about all the possible causes. There will be so many causes. And if I look at my control chart, if I am looking for why this patient waited for 90 minutes, I can assign a cause, a special cause. Well, this patient forgot some document. He went to home and bring it back. He brought it back. That is a special cause. But 99% of my patients are not like that. This is a special cause. For a quality professional, these special causes don't matter a lot. These special causes are to be actually taken care of the operations manager. The manager who's handling the process will take care of it. They know. They will take care of it. But the quality professional, he's more interested in the control limits, lower control limit and upper control limit. This lower control limit and upper control limit is also known as voice of process. As if your waiting time process is telling that I'm going to behave between 15 minutes to 45 minutes. Or your discharge time process is telling that I'm going to discharge your patient between 22 to 25 minutes to 375 minutes. You may think whatever you want to think, but the way your policies are, the way your people are trained, the kind of equipments you use, the kind of the layout you have in your hospital, your patients are going to take between 225 minutes to 375 minutes. That is the control limits of the process. That is the voice of process. Process is telling you, yes, mister, I'm going to behave like that. So this is voice of process, control limits. There are some questions sometimes. If the process is out of control limit, is the process out of control? The answer is yes, it is out of control. If the process is within the control limits, it means it is under control. Now, process under statistical control doesn't mean that it's always a good process. Just means that it is behaving as per the predictive limits. As per the predictive limits, right? So we have learned a lot of statistics, a lot of statistical too. We have learned control charts. We have learned normal distribution. We have learned cause and effect diagram. I'll show you some applications and some projects also. The real applications will make you help you understand these things better. Okay. There is one more thing. I'll talk about one more tool. We have still time, but let us hold off for the time being here. Let us not forget about our dear attribute data. Our attribute data is also there, waiting for us. Hey, I'm also there. Look at me. How you are going to present? I cannot be presented on a histogram. For attribute data, I will use other tools like bar charts. The categories are being represented, or I'll be using pie charts. Happy, very happy, neutral, unhappy, extremely unhappy. The 5 categories: pie chart, bar charts, or there's one more tool called Pareto chart. Like if I arrange the bars in the descending order, that becomes Pareto chart. Pareto chart, Vilfredo Pareto was an Italian economist who found 80% of the wealth in Italy was with 20% of the people. 80% of the money in Italy was with 20% of the people. So Mr. Joseph Juran, another quality guru, he applied this to quality. He said, 80% of your problems, whatever you are trying to solve, like infection rate, if you're trying to solve infection rate, whatever. We have many problems in a hospital. I don't have to tell you that. So 80% of the problem, your waiting time, delayed discharge time, infection rate, medicine dispensing, whatever you're talking about, whatever the problem is, you may have 100 causes listed, but only 20% of those causes are responsible for 80% of your problem. We call it as 80-20 rule. Okay. 80-20 rule. Like for example, now let's say I have come out with 20 causes here. Why waiting time is high? Let's say 20 causes. 20% of 20 is 4. So only 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 causes are responsible. How will I find? I'll collect the data. How many times each cause is occurring? And if I arrange them in descending order, I will easily find which cause is occurring most of the time. Let me show you. If we go back to our data of patient discharge time, I have brainstormed on using Ishikawa. See, Ishikawa diagram, Mr. Ishikawa told, if you want to brainstorm on the causes, brainstorm on 6 branches: man, machine, material, method, measurement, environment. Environment, to make it M, we can call it Mother Nature. So man, machine, material, method, measurement, environment. 6 M's. Brainstorm. When you are brainstorming, now brainstorming is a tool used by quality professionals, and to improve the quality culture in the organization, you should teach brainstorming to all the people. And there are some ground rules of brainstorming, which you have to always follow. So let me show you a video which shows the brainstorming techniques. What are the ground rules of brainstorming? Okay.
Once we
Let me show you a video. Now, when you join my sessions, you get a lot of videos. Many of these videos are already available on my YouTube channel. You can please click and watch this. And this program, which you are just seeing, it will be available to you. If you attend my full program, you will be seeing, you'll be getting all this link to this training as well. So I'm just showing you some of the ground rules of brainstorming. Of course, there are very proper way of conducting a brainstorming session, but let me just focus on the ground rules.
There are certain rules which need to be followed in brainstorming. The rules of brainstorming are: give equal opportunity to everyone who is participating. So tell them to participate, and you can use different techniques. As I told you, we will be learning in the improve phase. Capture all the ideas, so document all the ideas, whatever is being discussed, whatever ideas the participants are given, someone should be there to document, or a scribe you can appoint to document all the ideas. Leave your designation and ego along with your shoes outside the meeting room. That means don't think that if you are senior, your idea carries more weightage. So obviously this ground rule should be very clear to everyone, and everyone should be encouraged to give an idea, and everyone's idea should carry equal weightage. There should be a non-threatening environment. When people are giving ideas, they should not be afraid of giving ideas. So you should create an environment where people should be encouraged to give the ideas. Also, we should ensure that wherever the brainstorming is taking place, there should not be any disturbance, so people are focused on brainstorming. Sometimes people might deviate from the topics. There is a tendency that some important issue crops up during the discussion. So at that time, you can always create a parking lot saying that, well, this idea or this issue is very, very important, and we can park it to be discussed after a while once we complete the brainstorming on this particular topic. We should encourage people to fantasize freely. We should not put brakes on our thoughts. So you can give some out-of-the-box ideas, you can give some wild ideas, and if people are giving you wild ideas, they should be encouraged. If you give a specific duration of brainstorming, we should try to complete the brainstorming within the time duration, and defer evaluation. Now, this is one of the rules which is often violated. People start discussing the ideas. Someone gives an idea and someone else says, well, it will not work in an organization. Or some other person gives an idea and someone else comments that, wow, it's a great idea. So don't evaluate. Reserve your comments for evaluation at a later stage. When you are generating the idea, when you are generating the root causes, they are not to be evaluated. You cannot say that it is a good idea or this is a very good root cause which you have thought of. No evaluation, just write down whatever is being suggested. Generate quantity. Do not worry about the quality at the initial stages. So you have to generate lots of root causes, lots of solutions. More the better. A pearl diver, he dives into the sea to find the pearls. If he just collects 10 oysters, the probability of getting the pearl is very low. But if he collects thousands of oysters, the probability of getting the pearl is very high. So similarly, if you want to collect great ideas, some of the out-of-the-box ideas, some creative ideas, then definitely you should create more and more ideas. So how to generate those ideas? There are different techniques. Some of these techniques we'll be discussing in our improve phase, but right now we are in analyze phase. And
yeah, so we created a cause and effect diagram using brainstorming technique. So we brainstorm on all the causes and we can quickly make nowadays things are easy. You can make a cause and effect diagram, just few clicks. So you can do a quality improvement project very easily now. You can do your PDCA project, plan, do, check, act project very easily. Some of you might have heard of this PDCA, plan, do, check, act. You know, they use all these tools only, right? Then Oh, how to get this? When you join my training, you will get the software. Yes. Okay. We provide you the softwares. Not only this, we provide you case studies of many hospitals, including National Healthcare Service hospitals. A lot of projects we have done there in UK and a lot of Saudi hospitals. If you are willing to stay for 15 more minutes after, I think we are going to finish in next 35 minutes, 35 minutes more to go. But if you are willing to spend a little bit more time towards the end, after 35 minutes over, I'll describe one hospital project also. In short, I will describe immediately in the short time, like in the next 15 minutes. But a detailed project I'll talk about after the training. So I have generated the reasons now. How many times each reason is occurring? I've got the frequency of how many times each reason is occurring. I've listed, I've collected the data. From these reasons are coming from the cause and effect diagram. Now, how many times in the last 6 months these reasons occur? I can do a bar chart of all the reasons, but the frequencies are arranged in descending order now. Like for example, I'll show you. I can't explain in detail how to create a Pareto chart. For that, you have to join my session, full session, but I'll just show you how the output. This is a Pareto chart, like reporting not accurate, how many times it is occurring? 27 times. It is occurring 27 times. Staff not available, 23 times. Pharmacy delay, 11 times. Now, what is the percentage contribution of each of the cause? It's also given here. Percentage is 29% for first, 25% for second. If I take the total of first two, it is 29 plus 25. 29 plus 25 is 54%. If I take the total of first four, it is coming to around, first five is coming to around 83%. So the first 4 or 5 causes are contributing 80% of my problems. So I'll focus on those 4 or 5 causes only. I will forget about other causes. I have listed 20 other causes. They are of not much significance. These 4 causes are of significance to me. I'll focus on that cause. Okay. Then there are some advanced tools which we learn in our CPHQ training, like hypothesis test, which of course I can't cover in such a short time here. And obviously for foundation course, it won't be possible for us to cover, but they are easy. They're not so difficult. Okay. Even people find these tools also difficult, what I explained to you. So cause and effect diagram, Pareto. You should be able to interpret the Pareto. So Pareto, once again, if a question is asked, which is the biggest cause which is influencing your delays, or which is the cause of delays in your hospital, what will be your answer? Can you please tell me? The CPHQ question. Tell me, which of the causes is affecting the patient discharge time the most? So what will be your answer? Look at the chart. Can you tell me what is your answer? Okay. So which is the topmost cause? Number 1 cause. Can you tell me number 1 cause? Reporting not accurate. So Lina and Mohammed Guni and Cheryl Rodriguez and Mohammed, yeah. So you have given. So these are the top 4 or 5 causes. If I focus and then I brainstorm, and there are a lot of brainstorming techniques. One of the brainstorming techniques, if you were present like a little bit before time, I've played 6-3-5 technique. 6 people write 3 ideas in 5 minutes, and you can generate lots of ideas. 108 ideas in just half an hour. So you can use techniques, and you can solve your problem. So this is how you usually do a project. Okay. Okay. So I'll show you one project, like a very brief project. And if time permits, a detailed one after, say, 30 minutes or so. But right now, let me show you a brief project. A hospital wants to reduce waiting time. And today, It is taking 93 minutes on an average, and it wants to reduce to 30 minutes. And we write a project chart. What is the problem statement and what is the goal statement? In PDCA or DMAC, now I'm describing DMAC of Six Sigma right now. Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. In PDCA, it becomes plan, do, check, act. Plan means I plan to improve something. I do it, I correct ideas, do analysis, and check the solution, give the solution and see whether it's working or not. And if it is working, good, I sustain it. If it is not working, I act on it and I make the changes to my plan. That is known as PDCA. Right now, I'm describing DMAC, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. In the define phase, I write a project chart. And applying the systems thinking. Remember, I told you, I'll tell you about SIPOC. SIPOC, Donabedian, talks about outcomes, process, and these are known as structures, structural measures, process measures, and outcomes. Structure, process, outcome. This is applicable in all the processes, in all the systems in your hospital. So if I look at our process of patient treatment, customer is the patient. C means customer. O means output. When I'm making a SIPOC, generally I start with the right to left, the way we write Arabic, right to left. Customers, output, process, input, suppliers. When I read, it goes supplier, input, process, output, customer. So customer is patient, output is prescribed treatment. Process, I just briefly write down process, and inputs, patient history, etc. Now my outcomes. One of the outcome is long waiting times. The outcome is dependent on structures and processes, inputs and process. And I can measure everything. I told you already. So I can measure the output as waiting time, which depends on time taken to receive medicine, time taken to settle the bill, time taken to consult the doctor, time taken to register. These are all dependencies. Okay. My input, my process measures are affecting my outcome measures. Similarly, patient history. How can I measure patient history? Patient history is available, not available, complete or incomplete. Now, oh, patient forgot the file. It's not available. It's not available, it will delay. Waiting time will be more maybe. Or registration forms, available, not available. Doctors, available, not available. Receptionist, skilled, unskilled. Bills, clear, not clear, or defect, error, no error. You can have any number of inputs, process, outputs. I'm applying systems thinking. Remember systems thinking of Deming. Leadership should have systems thinking, and everyone is a leader. Don't look at, when we talk about leader, don't think of your CEO or COO. You yourself are the leader. You should have leadership qualities. Leaders have systems thinking. And system thinking, how you get it, how you implement it, using SIPOC. Draw SIPOC of your process. You'll widen your thinking. Now I have got my SIPOC. Then in the measure phase, I collect the data, make the histogram of the waiting time, get my average, get my standard deviation. Then I make a cause and effect diagram, why I am taking more weight. The waiting time is high. Why? And then so many causes. Which of the causes are occurring the most? These are the top two causes. I work on those top two causes. And once I give suggestions on this, I reduce the waiting time and I am able to sustain. This sustain is important. There is no point in improving the process for just 1 month and go back to your old habits. No, you have to sustain. For that, you have to train the employees, train the staff, create a new standard operating procedure, standardized process, make your hospital a visual control. Lot of tools are available for that. Let me show you some of the tools. Okay. Then you can make control charts. You already know control chart, right? Now, my lower control limit, upper control limit, I have got new process control limits, and I'm trying to maintain my process within those control limits for a long, long time. It's like they lived happily ever after. Control phase on all the stories end like that. They lived happily. This process lived happily ever after. This patient lived happily ever after. So control is important. It's not like patient, my process got improved. I celebrated in a cafeteria. Well done, well done. After 2 months, the waiting time again goes back. Not only goes back, it shoots up more than what it was 6 months ago. No, that's not the right real improvement. Sustaining tools are important. Okay, maybe I'll talk about some more. There are some more projects, but let me show you some other tools rather than describing the same tool. Let me show you FMEA. Before FMEA, let me also talk about some lean tools. Some lean techniques. So typical hospital environment has got like a lot of issues, which leads to service breakdowns, wasteful process, and medical errors. So as a quality professional, you have to develop an eye for a waste. There is waste everywhere. Now, I'm not talking about the waste which you throw in the dustbin. I'm talking about the waste which is present in our processes. The lean is about removing the waste in our processes. There are so many wastes: searching, processing, motion, waiting, walking, transportation. There are 7, these can be classified into 7 classical wastes, or 8 rather, right now. They've added one more: intelligence, waste of intelligence also as one of the waste. Inventory, man hours, these are all examples of what is the waste. Whatever the patient is not willing to pay for. And if you are not doing something right the first time, there are 3 conditions which decide whether it's a wasteful process or not. If patient is willing to pay for, I wanted to write patient. Yeah, so patient, oh, my handwriting is like a doctor's handwriting. Sorry. If patient, my wife is a doctor, I've learned that, well, her handwriting is much better, by the way. So if patient is not willing to pay for, I'll not write, I'll just speak. Patient not willing to pay for. Second is, if not done right the first time. Okay, not done right the first time. And the third is, if the process, the input is not going closer to the output, that means it's a waste. We call waste is muda in Japanese. There are 7 or 8 ways. Intellect, waste of intellect, waste of, like, surgeon is waiting for the theater to get ready. Waste of surgeon's intelligence. Scrap rework defects, errors will lead to waste. You are spending resources of the hospital, time, resources, money to rectify theirs. First to commit the mistakes, then rectify it. It's waste. Waiting, biggest waste. Inventory, motion, transportation, overproduction. To remember this, you can also ISWIM to ISWIMTOO. ISWIM to. If you rearrange them, it also becomes Tim Woods. Whatever way you want to remember, you can remember these 7 or 8 wastes. They are all hidden. We don't even know that they are wastes. Overpricing, overtime, overstaffing, insurance reimbursement. So many of them are there. Just to take an example, in this process, walking, registering, walk again, movement, they are all waste. What is the value? See, think from perspective value. What is value added and what is non-value added? Value added service, which is adding value. Value from customer's perspective, value from patient's perspective. What is the value patient is looking from a blood test? the status of the health. The status of the health is the value the patient is looking for. Now, if you make him walk to the OPD, it's not adding any value. So many steps, not adding any value. I can't explain more here due to our restricted time. But let me tell you, only value-added steps are drawing the blood and blood test processing. So a time will come when 1, 2, 3, 4 will not be there. Okay, and only 5 and 8 will be there. No need to even register. In a lot of hospitals, we have eliminated the registration process altogether. Okay, some more examples, like patient is wasting nurse's time, saying, oh, my bed sheet is dirty, my pillow cover is dirty, is not clean. Now, it is waste of intelligence of nurse. Nurse is there to give the medicine, take care of the patient. She's not there to take care of the bed sheets. But if you ask nurse to do that, what will happen? She will commit mistakes. Waste of intelligence. Okay, I'll just proceed further. So ultimately, the idea is to remove the waste in the hospital and create value. That's what a quality professional, certified professional in healthcare quality does. A hospital doubled cardiology lab capacity from 8 to 16 by just redesigning the process. One hospital cut admission from 17 minutes to 5 minutes by again redesigning and removing additional steps. A lot of ways, a lot of tools we learn in the training program, how to do that. So ultimately, you need to reduce waste and create value. So this is what I just wanted to, some more example, let me talk about. When you map the process mapping is one of the tools which you should be aware of. It is one of the tools in CPHQ as well, you should know. Some of the waste examples, unnecessary motion, process, unnecessary waiting, unnecessary transportation, errors, defects, unnecessary stocks, inventory, production. A person who is not utilized, underutilized person is a waste. Underutilized or overutilized, both person is a waste. Even equipment, underutilized as well as overutilized is a waste. It will lead to errors. Okay. Cost of 5-minute empty walk. Even walking to elevator, if you collect the data, on a funny note, you can see that there's a lot of waste. If you have 200 nurses in a hospital, multiplied by 365, 200 and 365 multiplied by $12.5 runs into thousands of dollars waste. Okay. So these are some examples. Lab and pharmacy on second floor, radiation equipment on ground floor. If you bring them on same floor, it will reduce a lot of waste of motion. Then emphasis, here also interruption will lead to waste. Interruption, phone call interruption leads to waste. Then large fluctuations also, like admissions, people are waiting, patients are waiting since the morning for admissions, and we are discharging the patients late in the evenings. Long waiting time. If you're a private hospital, you lose the patients. And if you're a government hospital, definitely you'd like to serve the patients in a better way. Can we balance the line? Can we have our discharge, like patients discharge, being discharged a little earlier in the morning so that we don't reduce the waiting time for the patients who want the beds? And emergency, you see, ED avoidance through home health aids, you'll reduce, because it reduces the burden on the Ministry of Health too. Okay, timely treatment of sore throats, allergies, ear infections, all these things. You are trying to reduce the burden on the healthcare system. That will really help. understaffed weekends lead to problems, isn't it? Balancing is important. I'll not go too much details. Fatigue also leads to errors, but healthcare, they're not aware of it. Pilots, when they were asked, they say, yeah, it agrees. Fatigue affects performance. This is true. If you are fatigued, you are doing double shifts, you'll commit more mistakes. Any overburden is a waste. Okay. I will just maybe give one more example of pokayoke. One more technique is called pokayoke. One more technique is doing things in parallel. Parallel means two things you can do simultaneously, it will reduce your time. Like bedside registration speeds the check-in process. So these are all ideas, which will help you to improve your processes in your hospital. Let me just describe one more technique called pokayoke and visual, how to reduce errors, trying to reduce medical errors using visual techniques, like the way here we have done. Hydroxyzine and hydralazine. Not to confuse between the two, you use visual techniques. Indented surgical instrument tray so that you don't forget anything inside. Making your hospital visual, people don't waste time seeking the directions. Making it visual hospital. Minimum talks. Now everything is displayed. In my wife's clinic, she runs a clinic, children's clinic here. We decrease waiting time by first studying the number of questions, the type of questions every patient is asking. Whenever, those who are physicians, they would understand, or they will easily agree. The same patient, every patient asks some 5 to 6 same questions. So a video was created of those 5 to 6 questions, commonly asked questions. And while the patients are waiting, this video is played. So patients don't spend time in asking those questions. They ask the relevant questions only. So that saves the time of the patient as well as the physician. Use those techniques. Pokayoke, like rice cooker switches off automatically to prevent the burning of the rice. Similarly, you can apply the same pokayoke. Pokayoke means mistake proofing. In Japanese, it means fool proofing. Even a foolish person cannot commit a mistake. So equipment will stop working after a certain set points. It will not accept any value beyond a certain set point. Like normal range is 0.001 gram to 0.01 gram. 0.1 will be automatically rejected. You can't attach oxygen to nitrogen because of the differences in the connections. Other pokayoke techniques, fixed number of packages during the surgery, complete catheter kits, pre-packed medication card. These are all techniques you can use. So these are some of the things which you can improve using some of the quality-related tools and techniques, which will definitely enhance the quality delivered by a hospital. So we saw a lot of tools and techniques. One more tool is there, FMEA, Failure Modes and Effects Analysis, which, if I have time, what I will do, instead of showing it to you, I will send a link of FMEA to you. I've made a nice video.
Now, let me talk about a very powerful tool called Failure Modes and Effects Analysis. This tool, FMEA, was first used by NASA to send the people on the moon. And they did not want to fail, and that is why they used an FMEA, Failure Modes and Effects Analysis. Typically, FMEA is now used by almost all industries. Of course, after Apollo missions, it was used by Navy, then Defense Services, and later on by automobile companies. But now it is used in healthcare too. Typically, it is used in 3 situations: product or service design, process execution, or analysis of potential human errors. You can use this in analyze phase also. But right now we are learning FMEA in
So if it is used in healthcare, it is known as HFMEA. Okay. So let us look at the overview of the FMEA.
each input will fail. Before we take an example on process FMEA, that is PFMEA at a high level, let us understand the various columns of failure modes and effects analysis template. FMEA has got a lot of columns. The first column is about process or the process step or the input. So you have to mention the process which you are trying to improve or the process step or the inputs. And the next column is about failure modes. Imagine how this process will fail, how the process step will fail, or how the inputs will fail. You have to write how it will fail. You don't have to write the causes, why it is failing. So one of the common mistakes is that people start writing the causes of the failures. You don't have to write the causes here. Causes will be written in the causes column later on. After that, you have to look at the effects. So you have to write down the effects of these failure modes. After writing the effects, you have to give a severity rating to these effects. So you have to write on 1 to 10 scale how severe, how badly it impacts the process or the outputs, how badly it impacts the customers. So if the effect is very, very severely impacting on the customer and the customer feels very unhappy about it, then the rating will be 10. And if the customer is not at all concerned about it, or if it has not got any impact on the output, then we will rate it as 1. So 1 to 10 impact on the severity rating. Once we have written down the severity ratings of the effects, now again it's time to focus on the failure modes. Now in the next column, you have to write the causes, all the potential causes which are responsible for that failure mode. So you have to write the causes for the failure mode. So again, some people commit this mistake. They start writing the causes of the effects. No, you have to write the causes for the failure modes. Why this failure is occurring. Once you write the causes of the failure modes, then after that, you have to write the occurrence rating. You have to give the occurrence rating to all the causes. If this particular cause occurs most of the time, every time, then the rating will be 10. And if this cause never happens, almost never you see this happening, or there is no potential of happening that particular cause, then you will rate it as 1. So 1 to 10 rating for occurrence. Once you have given the occurrence rating of 1 to 10, 10 means very bad, 1 means very good. Every time, see, we have got 3 ratings, severity, occurrence, and the next rating which is coming up is the detection rating. All the times, whenever it is good for the organization, the rating is 1, and whenever it is bad for the organization, risk of failure is more, then the rating is 10. Once I've given the occurrence rating, then it's time to move on to the next column. The next column is about the current controls. What are the current controls? Now again, one mistake people commit here is they start writing what could be the control, how to control that particular cause from happening. No, here we are writing the current controls. Are there any present control? Do you have in your organization some controls to prevent that particular cause, or at least to detect that particular failure? If you have these current controls, you have to write these controls in this column. Once you have written the controls, then you have to rate these controls again on detection rating 1 to 10. You have to give a rating of 1 to 10. 10 means very bad control, 1 means very good control. Again, I repeat, 1 means good control, 10 means bad control. Again, often this mistake is committed by many people. They start writing 10 for good controls and 1 for bad controls. So don't commit that mistake. So we have got now 3 ratings: severity rating 1 to 10, then occurrence rating 1 to 10, and then detection rating 1 to 10. Now we multiply all the 3 ratings to get our risk priority number, RPN. Risk priority number is multiplication of severity rating, occurrence rating, and detection rating. Once we get our RPN, we look at those numbers and identify where is the highest risk of failure in our process. Naturally, we can do Pareto diagram here or Pareto analysis to identify the top 20% of the RPN so that I can prioritize my actions. And in the next column, you start writing the recommended actions for the high.
What I'll do, because of lack of time, I will show you quickly one example, and this example will help you to understand the like say patient fall. If I want to reduce the patient fall, so how will I do an FME, failure modes and effects analysis? Okay, so the failure mode here is see here first process. Which process I'm talking about? Pediatric patient handling. There's the process. What is the failure mode? Patients are falling down. What is the effect? Injury. How severe it is? 1 to 10 rating, it is 8. Okay, what are the potential causes for that? So lack of awareness of family. There is one, lack of awareness of family. I'll just hide this one. So yeah. So lack of awareness of family. How often it occurs? Most of the time, 7. Lack of awareness of staff. How often it occurs? Maybe not much. People are aware. Our staff is well trained, so it's 2. Wet floor, maybe 4. Medication, maybe 5. 50% of the time, medication is responsible. Now, these ratings are given by the experts who know the process. Then current controls, what are we doing today to improve the awareness of the family? We are educating the parents. Is it effective? Not so effective. It is 8. Multiply the severity, occurrence, and detection rating to get your risk priority number, RPN. If it is high, I need to take an action. It is high here. I'll give material and I'll start showing them the video. This was done in Wadi al-Dawasir Military Hospital in Saudi Arabia. And we had implemented some good measures there, and they reduced the patient fall. Some other, I just wanted to describe one row because I think you have got the essence of what an FME is. And you can also do an FME. It's very easy. It's not very difficult. These are all jargons. Don't be afraid of any of the tools. All the quality tools are very, very easy, by the way. Okay, at this point of time, I hope I'd like to ask you one question before I proceed further. Would you be interested in attending my CPHQ training? I conduct these CPHQ training. So would you be interested in attending one of CPHQ trainings? So we have got many, I keep conducting almost every 1 month we have a batch. Every 1 or 2 months we have a batch. Yeah, but we have an year and so if you are interested, okay, thanks for participating and answering this question. So if you are interested, I'll tell you the dates and you can join any of my training programs. And those who are interested in just getting a 2-hour foundation CPHQ course certification, the training is free, but the certificate you have to pay a little bit administration fee because we have a team working for the whole setup. So it won't be much. It will be just I'm not sure how much my team can just tell. I think it's 100 dirham or so, if I'm not wrong, 100 riyals or 100 dirhams. It is so you can get the certificate for this 2-hour training also, and you will be receiving the certificate within 1 week if you make the payment. But those who want to attend the 4 days of training program, for them, let me show you how can they attend. By the way, one more question, if you can answer for me. Are you planning to appear for CPHQ exam in any time in the future? So many of you are, 98% of you are interested. Okay, so that case, you can definitely not forget Anexas because we do conduct 4 days of training program and our passing percentage is very high. As I already told you, those who joined late, many of the UK and Middle East and European hospitals are our client, attended by health ministers of 4 countries have attended. UAE, Saudi Arabia, India, Vietnam. They've attended our training programs. And various industries also we conduct the quality related training programs. This is a feedback of Sultan.
Just finished the course, the Six
And
Sigma.
one more CPHQ
How did you
professional.
find
I
it?
think my team.
You know, this Six Sigma really very nice.
Yeah.
Before my weight might
CPHQ,
not.
my team, if you remember, I had sent you for one Cedar Hospital. If you can just play that as well after I just display that CPHQ related. Yeah. So if you are interested, most welcome. Generally, it will enhance your hike. It hikes your salary. Observed, it has been observed that around 20% to 50% salaries hike have been observed after you get a CPHQ certification. And some of the improvements can save your hospital around $100,000. Like if you apply these tools and techniques, whatever you learn in the CPHQ sessions, you apply these tools and techniques, the hospital will save a lot of money. And if you save money for the hospital, everyone loves you, right? So if you are interested, and those who are interested, those who said that they are interested in my training programs, we'll be sending you some information. You will be getting, if you attend our training program, you will be getting certification from Anexas Europe first, the attendance. And we also are accredited organization for IASSC, PMI, ISO 9000, one accredited company. More than, accreditations, the quality of delivery matters, quality of learning matters. And we don't need any certification for that or accreditation for that. The best part is you judge us, you accredit, you give us the accreditation. And based on that, you can join our organization. The CPHQ training, preparation training, which is $600. But today, if you are registering for any of our batches, if you are registered within this year, today and tomorrow, there's a special offer. You can attend later on also, means you don't have to attend immediate training session. There are two, one is happening in December, one is starting in December, and one is starting in January. You can attend any of them. And discounted price is just $300. And a lot of things you will get for free. Means you will get additional Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt certification free, project completion certification free, real projects, software which I are showing you. Plus, if you are a project management professional, some people are PMP professionals, you get professional development units also. It's all free. Otherwise, it costs a lot. So if you register today, you get a chance to attend the training one more time after you write, just before you write the exam. So you can attend this training 2 times. In fact, I can extend this offer till the time you appear for the exam. You can attend this training maybe 3 times also. So you can make sure you will be getting the videos as well, videos of our training programs, the videos which we showed it to you, plus some more videos, very, very high quality, high content videos we make. And this will be all given to you. You can also watch them any number of times if you attend. So the training, forthcoming weekend batch is happening on December 17th. This is starting. And weekend batch, only weekend, generally happens on Friday, Saturdays, or Saturday, Sunday, like depends on which country you are from. And the forthcoming batch, weekend batch is starting on 17th December. And another batch is starting on January 21st. So usually it will be on 2 weekends. So 2 weekends, 2 days, 2 plus 2 is 4 days. That's the, so if you register, you'll be, and there is one more, other free workshops if you want to attend. One free yellow belt session is coming up because you have attended this training. So I'm offering you one free yellow belt session. December 16th, you can attend almost around this time. And you can receive, if you want to register, you can register in the chat box. So there's a link in the chat box. You can just register there. And if you want to register in our training programs, please, you are invited. So most welcome to attend our training programs. And I'm looking forward to meeting you there. And if you have any questions, you can always ask me. So I'll be happy to answer questions, and let me see your questions. So my team member has put okay, so my team members will be happy to answer questions related to administration, but if you have technical questions, okay, CPHQ exam is can be you can appear at your home. You don't have to go to any center. You can appear at home. You don't have to go anywhere else to appear for the exam. You will be getting a lot of practice questions. You will be getting a lot of practice questions. We'll be giving you a lot of practice questions. Now, let me give you some tips. We'll give you the books as well. This book plus let me also tell you the content. Like I was talking about 4 main topics: organizational leadership, where you have structure and integration. We talked about structure and integration, creating a structure for quality culture in the organization. Then accreditation, you learn how to get your accreditation, regulatory accreditation, external recognition like JCI, Sabahi. By the way, we have also come out with the software which will help the hospitals in accreditation process. If you are interested in that, there's a separate thing. If any of you are interested in accreditation software, like which will help you in getting accreditation of your hospital for JCI and Sabahi or whichever accreditation you have in your country. If you are interested in helping in that, we have a software for that as well. So if you are interested separately to get that software, license of that software, you can connect with us too. Okay, so that is another one, additional information I want to tell you. Regulatory accreditation recognition, then education, training, and communication. These are the topics which you will be learning. Healthcare data analytics, some of them you already learned. Tools and techniques, mean, average, standard deviation, Pareto chart, control chart. Some of these you can see easily here. And common cause, special cause variation. Today we learned, right? And trend analysis, FMEA, failure modes, and some tools like Lean, PDCA. I described Lean and Six Sigma today a little bit. Then FMEA, patient safety, failure modes and effects analysis. We learned about that as well, if you remember. Last topic was related to patient safety, failure modes and effects analysis. So all these things, when we are talking about CPHQ, it's a very valuable course, and you will learn. See, even if you don't want to appear for an exam, even if you don't want to appear for the exam, you just want to enhance your knowledge. It is a worthwhile course. Okay. So certification is, so attendance certification will be given by us, and then CPHQ certification will be provided to you by NHQ US. Yeah, but you have to appear for that exam for that. Yeah. This fees only includes the training fee. The certification fee you have to pay directly to NHQ, and you can, we can help you in registering if you want, and of course we'll help you guide. We'll give you books. We'll give you all the material which is required, and you don't have to study too much. You don't have to really study too much. A little bit of study, minimum hours spent on CPHQ can help you to become a CPHQ professional. Yeah, CPHQ certificate has an expiry, but it's very easy to renew. You don't have to appear for exam again. you just renew after every say 2 years or 3 years. You just renew it. You don't have to appear for any exam after that. So we are giving you 2-3 books. In fact, the training material itself is good enough. You don't have to really study any books, but we'll be giving you related books if you are interested in studying. If you want to read a lot, we'll give you different books which are provided or approved by CPHQ, as well as very popular books we'll be giving to you. Books are all soft copies. Books are all soft copies. We do all healthcare related quality training. So if you have any specific request, you can write specifically separately to us. And if your hospital needs any quality tools and techniques related, we also conduct Lean, Six Sigma, Green Belt, Black Belt, project management trainings. I really like doing all these CPHQ, Lean, Six Sigma. I've been doing this for the last 20 years. And I would like to do it for your hospital also, yes. I'm just answering some of your questions. Training will be online, live interactive sessions, the way I'm doing it right now. Duration of the course is 4 days. And okay, Bassam is from Qatar. Cedar Hospital, I've done. Can you show the, do we have that CPHQ Cedar Hospital video with you? Naveen?
Yes.
Yeah, please, can you show that? So this is from Qatar. And we have got from Saudi Arabia also.
Hello everyone, future CPHQ professionals. I just want to give you a bit of an idea of our last 3-day course on the CPHQ exam preparation. It was awesome. We covered the majority of the topics in a very targeted and focused way that allows us to later on focus our studying and our energy and our time on what really is of value for the examination, but more importantly as well, because of the practical examples that Amitabh was able to provide us in our everyday healthcare work. One thing that I really benefited from the course is that Amitabh from Anexas was able to provide us with answers and solutions, especially at the statistical level, to questions and problems beyond the CPHQ course, to exercises and projects that we do in our everyday work life. For that, I would definitely recommend the course, taking it with Amitabh and Anexas. It's been a great experience, both for my preparations for CPHQ, but more importantly for my everyday work. Thank you so much.
Hi, so I've just completed 3 days training of the CPHQ, which has been absolutely fantastic. Amitabh from Anexa has been phenomenal. The course materials have been fantastic. I think what I really enjoyed about this was that I could relate a lot of this methodology to healthcare, and a lot of the examples were things that I could contextualize it with healthcare. So I'm from here in Qatar at Sidra Medicine, and so again, thank you to Amitabh for this fantastic training.
We have got many credentials from Europe, Middle East. As I told you, a lot of hospitals in Jeddah, Riyadh, Dammam University Hospital, King Fahd Medical City. I keep forgetting the names. So many of them. So yeah. Okay, so thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. If you have any more questions, of course, admin related questions, my team is going to answer. And if you have any other technical questions, just let me know. Okay, so thanks.